Okay, now my first question is, where were you when you were my age, and what led you to the place that you are in now?
All right. So when I was 17 years old, I was in high school. I was heavily involved in the surfing world, competing in NSSA, which is a National Scholastic Surfing Association, traveling all over the place, up and down the coast, in different places in the United States to compete. We were competing at a high level because of our talent. That was my primary focus, thinking that was going to be my career choice, and it could have been, but in the late 90s, the market dropped, so the sponsorship dried up, so it was no longer a viable opportunity for me. So my next course of action from that point was to try to find a career path that I would really enjoy, which led me to doing electrical work, which then led me to get into management. And I went from being a journeyman electrician to the site supervisor, running huge jobs, fully automated buildings, Amazon, Target, places like that, and then also doing Home Depots and Lowe's and things of that nature, which then led me to an opportunity to get into the warehouse automation field, which is pretty much the wave of the future from an automation standpoint. Robots are going to take over a lot of the work these days. So I got to get into that field and work my way up to a director of operations, which I wanted to be a VP, but once I got to director, I realized that it's higher or bigger bullseyes on your back, and then you get a less time with your family. And at that point, you are working to live, and I didn't want to work to live. I want to enjoy life and spend time with my family.
Okay, that was good. My second question for you is, what do you do for your job today, currently, and what does your average day look like?
So currently I'm a ops manager / solutions executive. So we'll go out to customers like Amazon, Walmart, Target, big companies like that, that are struggling to keep up with the maintenance on all of their assets within their building and then the building itself. So it's facilities and maintenance. So I'll talk to the leaders, depending on what title they are, VPs or whatever. I'll talk to them about what their biggest pain points are, what their goals are, and then I will develop a solution for them. We'll implement the solution, and then I'll oversee the solution so that they can make sure that they're seeing the return on their investment. A day in the life for me, it's filled with a lot of meetings, reviewing documentation for all the assets that they have, interviewing people, and then helping the company I work for now build out this whole services division, which is all new to them. So that's pretty much what my day consists of.
Good, nice. Why did you choose the job you have, and what do you like the most about it?
So I chose the job because when I was working at this warehouse automation company called Symbotic, I was actually tapped to outsource all of our maintenance. So that got me out into the world looking for different companies that could do maintenance outsourcing. And then I ran into this company called Aerotech. We formed a partnership and built a bunch of teams together. I really enjoyed working with the Aerotech team members, looking at their tenure too. Like the average person has worked at Aerotech for 5 years, and then they had people that have been there for 30 years plus, and that was not a rare thing to see. Plus, they took me to the Masters in 2023, where I got to meet some of their senior leadership, and from that point, it was like I was very interested in working with them. So when I decided to leave Symbotic so I would have a better work-life balance, I actually ran into one of the senior leadership people at the Dallas-Fort Worth airport, and then I gave him my resume, and here I am.
Cool.
I don't know if I answered all of it.
Yeah. What do you like the most about your job currently?
I think the thing I like most about my job is interacting with people. I love to communicate. I love to talk to people. I love to help people solve their problems. And I get to work in all different industries. I mean, I'm working in everything from biopharma to warehouse automation to Blue Origin, where they're sending people to space as an option for, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. They send people to space where that was never thought of before, and that's something that people can do now. They can spend $250,000 and go up into space and actually see the world from a different point of view. So it's pretty exciting. And there's a lot of really good people here, and it was a good opportunity to help further my career and grow without having to have a lot of stress and travel all the time.
Cool. My fourth question is, did you ever have to deal with expectations or pressure from family, friends, or society?
Yeah. Politically is the biggest thing. The political pressure to follow other people's ideologies is one of the biggest things I've had to deal with. Most notably in my family. Big divide from the way, just difference of opinions politically. So yeah, it's out there. Growing up in Santa Cruz, it was very politically motivated. Everything was. It was heavily left, which is fine. But it didn't meet my vision. So it's interesting how people that you used to associate with don't associate with anymore because of political beliefs. So I don't try to force my political beliefs on anybody. I don't try to. I don't want to. I just let people be who they are, and my philosophy is to each their own. And if you have a belief and I don't agree, don't try to push it on me. You're entitled to your opinion, and that's your entitlement.
Yep. My fifth question is, people telling you what you shouldn't or shouldn't do with your life. How did you deal with that?
Okay, so that's a great question. I got that a lot, actually. I got that a lot when I was growing up. Different people telling me that I had to do certain things. My dad told me don't go to college. It's a scam. You'll never have retirement. You're just going to work for your whole life. And I definitely was not going to follow that suit. I had my own plan. My plan was to be able to live the American dream, so to speak, and have a house and have a family and be able to do things we want to, which is where we are now. I think one of the biggest things that you're faced with as a kid is indoctrination by teachers, forcing their beliefs on you versus just teaching you the curriculum that they're supposed to teach you.
Yep. My sixth question, how do you define success for yourself?
I think that's pretty simple. It's happiness.
Yep.
I mean, if you're, there's a song, it's called, I don't remember the name of the song, but the lyrics are, every day should be like a vacation if you enjoy your occupation. If you don't, you have to find a new one. So that's essentially true. So, happiness is key. If you're not happy, everything falls apart around you.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Okay. My next question is, what challenges have taught you the most in your career?
Challenges, huh?
Yeah.
I think the biggest challenge is, and it's not so prevalent anymore, but when I was younger trying to get into the work world, I didn't have a college degree. So that was a big challenge because everybody was so hyper focused on the degree and the school you went to and the prestige that comes behind that. So I ran into some challenges there, not being able to find the jobs that I wanted or going down the career path I wanted because I didn't have that. But I overcame that, and there's plenty of ways to do that. If I could go back, I would go back and definitely go to college. But I think by far the biggest challenge that I faced was when I was your age, Logan, or 18, I wanted structure. I wanted to join the military. So that was my goal. I was going to be in the military. I wanted to be in the Marines. Actually, I really wanted to be in the Air Force because my grandpa was in the Air Force. So I tried out for the Marines, or for the Air Force, the Marines, Navy, every branch of the service, but because I have scoliosis, they would not take me. So that really derailed my plans and derailed my college as well because I wanted to go to school to be a firefighter or to work in the as a police officer doing crime scene investigation, which I was taking classes at Cabrillo College in Santa Cruz to do, but I couldn't do that either because I couldn't pass their physical because of my scoliosis. So I think that was by far the biggest challenge, more so than having a college degree, was just having a physical limitation that prevented me from doing what I wanted to do.
Okay. My next question is, what motivates you to keep going when things get difficult?
What motivates me to keep going? Oh well,
Yeah.
it's simple. I mean, I have a great family, and the only way to support my family is to get up every day and continuing to go to work so I can put food on the table. And life's not easy. Anyone who tells you life is easy is lying to you. So I guess motivation is the willingness to succeed in life, and the willingness to be able to continually better yourself every day.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And my last question, what is one last piece of advice you want to pass on to me?
Be true to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Be honest with yourself. Make good choices. And since the internet is so prevalent these days, anything you put out there is always going to be there for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So something you say now, and it shouldn't impact you, but could impact your ability to get into a college if they don't align with what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think just think everything through. Look at, don't do the impulse actions. Think about things. Think about the consequences for everything you do, because for everything you do, there is going to be a consequence, no matter if it's good or bad.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
I think I tell you all the time, every time you leave here, make good choices, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's something to really think about. Are your choices good?
Yep. Yep.
So we're all going to make mistakes. So you got to learn from your mistakes, and I understand that. I don't want you to make the same mistakes I do. You're going to make your own mistakes, but at the same time, you're smart. You can make good choices. You already are.
Yep.
Making a lot of good choices.
Yep. All right. Well, anyways, thank you for your time.
Yep.